Hello and welcome to day 5 of the San Diego Unified Visual Arts and Performing Arts Online Theater Workshop Series. I am Miss Bianca, your instructor and your guide. By the end of today, you will be able to say, I can pantomime. I can use my imagination to express a setting on stage. I can warm up my body, voice, and imagination. Let's get started. But first, it's time for a recap. Let's review what we learned in our last video. Pantomime is using our bodies to tell a story. In pantomime, we can use facial expressions and gestures. Now that we have remembered all of those things, let's get started with our warm-ups. Our first warm-up activity will be an imagination exercise. So, make sure you are in a space with lots of room to move around. Feel free to move around in your space as you hear the descriptions in the story. Try to act out the story as you hear it. You are going to start standing up. Be sure to remain silent for this entire exercise. Imagine you are a baby animal who has stayed close to your mom and your sisters and brothers. You have stayed close to them in your tiny burrow. But now, since you've opened your eyes, you've started to move around away from your tiny home. So far, you have stayed very close to the burrow. But now, you notice something at the other end of the grassy area. I don't know what it is, and neither do you, but it is pretty big. You get very, very, very curious. You start to cross the grass to take another look. As you go, feel the grass move underneath your feet. Smell the sweet spring air. Taste any plants you come across on your journey. Listen to the sounds of the much bigger world you have discovered. But keep your eyes on that big thing. You arrive. You carefully investigate the big thing. Smell it. If it seems safe, taste it. Look over it very carefully. Listen to the sounds it makes. Touch it very carefully. Try to learn as much as possible about this thing. Suddenly, you hear a sound from across the grass. You've never heard this sound before, but you instinctively know what it is. It's Mom saying, "Everybody in the hole, quick!" You run across the grass and dive down into the hole just as Mom is burying it with leaves and dirt. And scene. Great job, actors, warming up your imagination for the stage. Now we will warm up our voices, but with a different exercise. This exercise is called Emotion Mirrors. This is a game that is very similar to the game we played before called Mirrors. It was when you were my mirror and you had to move exactly as I moved. Only this time, you are going to mirror my emotions. This means I am going to show different emotions with my face and my voice. You will try to show the exact same emotion in your facial expressions and in your voices. To play this game, you have to learn the following tongue twister. The tongue twister is, Mommy made me eat my M&Ms. Again, Mommy made me eat my M&Ms. So now we are going to say that phrase together. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Mommy made me eat my M&Ms. Excellent. Now, this time, when I say the phrase, I am going to show an emotion. I want you to try to copy that emotion and show that emotion at the same time. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Mommy made me eat my M&Ms. Excellent job. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Mommy made me eat my M&Ms. Excellent job, actors. This time, you didn't mirror my physical actions. Instead, you mirrored my emotions. When we show an emotion, we can change our facial expressions, which means we can move our faces in different ways. We can use our eyebrows or our eyes or our mouths or our nose or our cheeks or our chins to show different emotions. When you see someone else show their emotion with their facial expressions, sometimes you can try to copy that same emotion by using the same facial expressions. Also notice that our voices change. When we show different emotions, sometimes our voice can change to show that emotion as well. Which emotion did you think I was showing that last time? Now, I am going to repeat the same phrase. This time, I want you to watch my facial expressions very closely. And then the next time, you're going to repeat it with me and try using the same emotion. Are you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Mommy made me eat my M&Ms. Now, you try it with me, doing the exact same emotional expressions. Are you ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Mommy made me eat my M&Ms. Excellent job. How could you tell that my emotions changed? What did you notice on my face that changed? How was it different than what I showed before? How did my cheeks change? How did my eyes change? How did my mouth change? How did my voice change? Every time you show an emotion on stage, you want to change your voice or your facial expressions to match that emotion. Have you ever noticed yourself doing this in real life? Maybe if someone's very angry, you show very angry emotions as well. Or if someone's very sad, you show that you're very sad as well. We can show our emotions in a lot of different ways and using a lot of different parts of our bodies, including our faces. And it's very important to pay close attention to how you express your emotions as an actor on stage. Now it's time to warm up our bodies. We are going to start by shaking our wrist 5 times on each side. Are you ready? Let's go. Now shake your wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2. Switch. 1, 2. Switch. 1. Switch. 1. And done. Excellent job. Now, actors, we are going to warm up our bodies by nodding yes. Now, shake your head no. Now, nod yes. Shake your head no. Nod yes. Shake your head no. Nod yes. Shake your head no. And done. Now we're going to warm up our bodies by shaking one arm. And now we're going to shake the other arm. And now we're going to shake one leg. And now we're going to shake the other leg. Now let's shake both our arms and our legs all at the same time, and our head, and every part of our body, and done. Excellent job, actors. We should feel much warmer now. Now it's time for our acting exercise. For this exercise, we will use pantomime. Remember, pantomime is telling a story with our body, but not with our words. This time when we pantomime, we are going to think about place. Setting is what we call the imaginary place in a play or a show in theater. This imaginary location or place could be absolutely anywhere. We can imagine we are anywhere in the world or in the universe, like a castle or another planet or the mall or the beach or Disneyland. When we act on stage, we use our bodies to show where we are. We use our bodies to show our setting. In our next exercise, we are going to pantomime in different settings. This pantomime game is called Walking Through. In this activity, you will pretend to be walking. However, I am going to give you different settings you could be walking through. You have to use your body to show where you're walking. Remember, you can't say any words. You have to use facial expressions or body movements only. Remember, in pantomime, your facial expressions and gestures should be larger than they would be in real life. Use your imagination to see every detail of your setting. Let me show you an example. I will pantomime walking through a tall bush. Now let's see you try. Be sure to pause the video after each description to give yourself enough time to try the activity. Give yourself plenty of time to complete the activity. I will try the first two with you. Let's do it. Setting number 1. Imagine you are walking through a dark, scary alley. If you're walking through this dark and scary alley, imagine it is completely dark. There is no one around, and you can barely see through the alley. Imagine you can hear sounds all around you, getting closer and closer. How will you show in your body that you don't want to make too many sounds? How will you show in your body that you can't see anything? How can you show in your body that the alley is very small? How can you show in your body that you're very scared because this place is very scary? And scene. Setting number 2, in the burning hot desert. Imagine it is extremely hot. It is so hot that when your feet touch the ground, you can feel the temperature. Imagine the sun beaming down on your skin. Imagine the hot air covering your whole body. How can you show in your face that this place is extremely hot? How can you show in your body that this desert is making you extremely hot and maybe even extremely tired? How can you show in your feet and in your arms that you're in the hottest place you could possibly be? And scene. Setting number 3, across a wide street on a windy, rainy night. Setting number 4, through a forest of man-eating plants. Setting number 5, in outer space, weightless. Setting number 6, down a sticky road. Setting number 7, across a log over a river full of crocodiles. Excellent job, actors. Now remember, our bodies are always communicating. Our bodies can tell a story in every movement. Our bodies can even tell the audience where we are. Notice you were just walking, but every time you walked differently, it could show the audience where you were and how you felt about where you were. Now it's time for a recap. When we pantomime, we can also imagine we are in a specific place or location. That place is called setting. Setting is the imaginary location or place of a play or a pantomime. On stage, our setting could be absolutely anywhere. Now, for homework. Option number 1. In your theater journal, pick one of the settings that we pantomimed in our exercise today. Describe as much as you can about that imaginary setting. Then I want you to grab a mirror. Practice pantomiming that setting in front of your mirror. Option number 2, grab anyone in your home to be your audience for this pantomime activity. Play the game again, but this time, try to see if your audience can guess where you are. Let the audience know you will say scene once you're done with your pantomime. Now remember, it is okay if they don't guess correctly. This can tell you so much about how an audience understands your movements. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me in this wonderful world of theater. I'm Miss Bianca, and I'll see you next time.